morning, good evening, good day. This is Amy Katz Colors, and in this video, I am excited to share with you my Morgan O'Brien coloring book collection and completed pages. So thanks for joining, and I hope you're doing well. If you're new to my channel, I enjoy adult coloring as one of my main hobbies, and I love to share it with you all here on this corner of YouTube amongst the adult coloring community. So welcome back. I hope you're doing well. We are at the end of August. Today is, for those who celebrate, Starbucks Pumpkin Spice Latte Day. Today is also, we hear, the formal official announcement of the American royal couple's engagement. And by that, I mean Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce. So yay, a very exciting day for me anyway, because I'm a Taylor Swift fan, and I actually happen to be coincidentally a Kansas City Chiefs fan, longtime fan, prior to Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, Andy Reid, all of them. We go way back, and still very exciting. And fall, autumn is my favorite season, and so we are almost there. In fact, daylight is becoming less and less. It makes me very sad. Seasonal affective disorder sad, and also just sad in general. And so, yeah, I mean, if you're going to be taking daylight away from me, you better be giving me some pumpkin spice and some Halloween, some Christmas, some holidays to look forward to. And speaking of those, I have some pretty themed and festive Morgan O'Brien books I'm going to share with you. So, as far as collections go, I'm very good at resisting temptation to overspend and overbuy into my hobby. I really try to test things, including supplies, that I think I might be interested in, because I know that I might not necessarily want to do it all, or want to use all the things, or color in all the books. So I typically try to start out with just one or two books per illustrator, and then as I color more, it's almost like a internal reward system for myself. I'll go and get some more purchases or some more books if I find that I am truly enjoying it and coloring in those books. So Morgan O'Brien is an exception because I have 5 of this lovely illustrator's books, and that I know that might not seem like a lot, but it's a lot for me because he does have a pretty vast selection of works that he's done until this point. I don't know what I'm trying to say at this point. So many of which, I'm oogling over and trying to decide, obviously, the next ones that I want to get for my collection. But I'm, in the meantime, enjoying what I have. So I've enjoyed watching everyone's recent rank and rate videos, some of which do include Morgan O'Brien and or Matchstick Mouse as a collection. And so I thought, I've been thinking about this one for a while because I was like, I don't have too many types of collections. I did Disney. I think I'm going to do color by number. I could do square books. And then coming up, I thought about doing all of the autumn/Halloween coloring books that I have. So just some other ideas, but let's get into the 5 that I own, because I'm also going to share the completed pages that I've done in each. Starting out with Matchstick Mouse, a summer coloring book. And so this is the book that I've had picked out for the past couple months to color in. And what I didn't do is mark all my completed pages, but I think it'll be okay. So hopefully we won't waste too much time flipping around. I did this one back in July of this year with the stamps and the distress inks and colored pencil. So in all the cases of these books, I'm using alcohol marker as a base, primarily Ohuhu, but I have some other sets, some other budget sets, and then Prismacolor pencil over top for some shading. The other thing that we'll see is that my daughter has colored in some of these books as well. So just as a heads up. I'm going to try to focus on the ones that I have colored though. Okay. I did this one back in June, a rainy day. And I really like how this one turned out. I did go over the raindrops with acrylic white. I use a lot of the Jelly Roll Glaze Black and the glossy accents on the eyes when I can and when I think of it. This will be in my August completed pages video that'll be coming up, I guess, very soon, next week. And this one here I've just done, and also did some stamping in the background just to add a little bit of flair. So you'll get a heads up on that one. Here's one that my daughter completed last summer, all in colored pencil. Here's one that I completed last July 2024, I believe at the beach when we were on vacation. And so far I tend to color Matchstick Mouse as she appears in Morgan's illustrations, which is to say with that fur coloring and the orange hat. I know it's not very creative or original. I'm just kind of like traditional in that way. I am going to try to branch out sometime, maybe. I did this one last June. So this is one of the first pages that I did. And let me think. This was one of the first Matchstick Mouse books that I purchased. And I started purchasing them in 2024, so last year. I was trying to flip through like closely to see what I'm doing here. Okay, here's another that my daughter did with matchstick. And this is actually, she used all alcohol markers. Trying to get a good grip on it when I flip. June of 2024. This is a watercolor, not an Inktense, but a Derwent watercolor pencil. So it's different in that you can move it around a little bit. I just have a small set of 12 because I was trying those out for the first time, and then did the stencil with the Distress ink for the background. I really love this one, how it turned out. So that's everything that I've completed in Matchstick Mouse, a summer coloring book. Up next, we have one that I'll be coloring in very soon, which is Matchstick Mouse Halloween coloring book. And let's see, I probably, since I got this last year, I may have only one or two complete in here. Yeah, this is my daughter's. So she completed this one last year. I did this one in November. I was late. I remember being very overwhelmed last fall with all the books that I had started to collect for Halloween. And so I didn't get to this until, and I was trying to find one. There aren't many. I was trying to find one in this book that wasn't screaming like Halloween, but still like fall, autumn. And so this one fit the bill. And that might be, okay, no, I did do this one. This one was a buddy color, and I want to say it was with Candace at Happy Catastrophe. This was in October of 2024, so that was actually the first one. And I really like how that one turned out. That's the thing about these books, and I think that's why I've been gravitating towards them, is that they look so good and they don't take very long to complete because of his illustration style. Oh God, excuse me. It just lends itself well. I just think I don't know, it's fun to do, easy to do, quick. It's just, a circle. You can do things outside of the circle to kind of give it some flair, jazz it up a little bit, or you don't have to do that at all. Or you could transplant it. You could cut it out and put it, kind of like collage it onto something else that's like a wallpaper background or something like that. But I just think they're so fun. And I've really enjoyed coloring in these books. The next one that I have to share with you is Matchstick Mouse, a Christmas coloring book. And I want to say this one came out in 2021. And typically Morgan is putting out new books each season. Like, what would we say? Like 5 or 6 books a year, maybe? I don't know. I could be wrong about that. I don't have an idea. I know at least 2 I've colored in this book. Sorry. So I've done this one with the candy cane in the tree. Played around a little bit with the light bulbs and giving them a little bit of shine using colored pencil. And this was black. I went over it with an acrylic paint pen to get the red. It was all black. Oh, and that's something I forgot to mention about the Halloween book, is that a lot of the pages in here have the black background. So it could be good or it could be bad depending on what you like. I like it because they can be quick. There's less to fill in with that, but I guess you just kind of have to figure out what it is that you like to have in your pages. But this one seems like it also, I don't think it's as many with the black background in this one, but it just so happens the 2 that I did have some black, and I did this one with the pine cone. Again, super cute. For these, I did do the red hat with the poof, because that's the cover. We see Matchstick Mouse with like a Santa type hat. So I think those are the only 2. So we'll get to coloring in it again this Christmas. I didn't get to do any in July for Christmas in July. That's okay. And then the last of the Matchstick Mouse books that I currently own, I have his most recent, which is Matchstick Mouse, a cookbook coloring book. Right up my alley. I love to cook. Spent so much of my early adulthood watching the Food Network and have followed some of the Food Network chefs for a really long time. I don't have as much time to cook anymore. I spend more time coloring. But this really appealed to me, and I do like coloring food. I have completed 1 page in here so far, and it was the pizza page, one of the pizza pages, because I love pizza. It's probably, so I have some favorite foods, and it's pizza, tacos, and like burgers, right? It's all the very healthy foods, for sure. But anyway, and then I used a stencil with the ink in the background. And actually, when I did this, I didn't even realize, it was just coincidental that it matches the binding on this book. But it also just like made a whole lot of sense. This book is cute in that it's like a series, I'm not explaining it well, but there's a grouping of illustrations that kind of go together for the recipe that Matchstick Mouse is working on. So for pizza, I believe it starts here. So we're preparing the pizza, putting the toppings on the dough. Here we're putting it in the wood fire oven. And then here's Matchstick enjoying the pizza. So those go together. Like here we have grapes, squashing the grapes, and you probably know where this is going. And then here we are enjoying some, I guess, grape juice / wine. So I really think that's cute. And I'm looking forward to coloring in this one some more. So the last book that I have is The Way Home, which is a galactic coloring book. This one, because of licensing, so it's based on Star Wars and Grogu from The Mandalorian, but due to licensing, I believe, it is no longer available on Amazon. So he has this for free as a download on his coffee shop or coffee site. And so I just went and downloaded that and then printed it at Office Max and got it bound. Since it was so sweet too, by the way, because you can choose to do black and white or color. Well, it's a coloring book, so it doesn't make sense to do a color printing. They, without asking or inquiring about it at all, because the price would have been like double to say that I wanted it in color, they, I guess, knew what was going on here with it being a coloring book. And when I went to pick it up, I was surprised because they did print the cover in color, which I thought was amazing. So great job, Office Max, for kind of looking out for me, because I thought when I went to get it that, it's just going to be in black and white because that's what I had asked for. So I've done a few in here, and let's see. And so has my daughter. So my daughter did this one last year for Space Timber. And she used some stamp stencil. This one's harder to flip through. I did this one this year for May the 4th weekend. So cute. So cute. Let me see. Thank you for your patience. I'm so sorry. This was Star Wars Day 2024. And I did use some washi tape to kind of border the top and the bottom. Here's one that my daughter did last year, April of 2024. I love this so much. And she did a little rainbow fish with the porg up there. That's so cute. And I did this one for Space Timber 2024. Love how that turned out. And I did this one in April of 2024. So cute. And playing around with the stencil again and the ink, and I think that's it. So I really love this. I do not have any Annie Day books. I'm thinking about it. Yeah, it's very tempting. Very, very tempting. And there's a number of other Matchstick Mouse books that I definitely am interested in, as well as some new ones coming up. He's got, I think, a Halloween costumes, and he's got a pocket-sized book, which I'm definitely like. It's hard for me to resist a pocket-sized book of any type. I really like those because they're quick and easy and they travel well. So definitely want to look at that. I really like the other one that is also available for download on this Kofi shop, which is the one that is inspired by Animal Crossing, because I like to play Animal Crossing. But anyway, those are my 5 Morgan O'Brien books. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks again for everyone for providing the inspiration for these types of videos. Tell me if you are into Morgan O'Brien, what your favorite book of his is so far. And until I see you in the next video, happy coloring, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your week and the rest of August. Thanks. Bye.